So Doc Rivers said some things that may or may not have been taken out of context a little bit. Everybody's kind of freaking out. So I went and watched the entire interview, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what he actually said and what I think about what he said and what I think you think and how I think what you think may be wrong because you didn't watch the whole interview, and I think you think that I think what you think, and yeah. This video is brought to you by the Run It Back Teespring store. Go there to get all the son of a... This video is brought to you by the Run It Back Teespring store. Click the link in the description, get all the Run It Back merchandise, and use the code RUNMY20 for 20% off. And if you spend $50, you get free shipping. Also, FansEdge.com. That is a Fanatics company, up to 65% off Sixers and Eagles gear. Click the link in the description. The code is at the top of the website. You want to buy family members hats, Eagles jerseys, Eagles hats, mugs, Sixers jerseys, Sixers hats, all that stuff for 65% off for the holidays, and be the best, be the favorite person in your family because you got everybody the best gear. Then use the link in my description, all right? Let's get into this. Also, hit the like button if you like me. Hit the dislike button if you hate my guts. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. I give you these episodes every single day for free. Oh, my subscription. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the live streams. We do live call-in shows, all kinds of stuff like that. Don't miss out. Hit the notification bell. Here we go. So I'm just going to play the whole Doc Rivers interview and give you my thoughts on all of the things that he says in the interview. Let me just give you a synopsis and give you my thoughts before I play the video, okay? He said, apparently, that he doesn't care if Ben Simmons shoots the ball or not. If Ben shoots the ball 0 times, I'm fine with it. And half of the city of Philadelphia is freaking the out because, oh my God, we got rid of Brett Brown. Now, this isn't my thoughts directly. This is the opinion of at least half of the fan base, is that we got rid of Brett Brown because he wouldn't make Ben Simmons shoot the ball. And all of the success of this team relies on Ben Simmons shooting the basketball. And now we got Doc Rivers, and we thought he was going to come in here and make him shoot the basketball. And now he's saying publicly to the world that he's not going to make him shoot the basketball, and we're going to have all the same issues, and oh my God, everything's terrible. No, everybody calm down, all right? Here's the thing. Does Ben Simmons have to shoot the ball? I don't know the answer to that. There's 2 sides to this. Let's just say if Ben Simmons does shoot the ball, it's great for Ben Simmons, and it's great for Ben Simmons to be able to play the point guard position because the defense can't play 20 feet off. It's going to open up his game and open up everybody else's game in the half court, yada, 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 if he does shoot the ball. If he doesn't shoot the ball, it is then the coach's job to use him correctly, to put him in the right positions and situations, and more importantly, and most importantly, have the right players around him on the floor to maximize the potential to take advantage of all of his skills, his passing vision, his ability to run the floor, his ability to read a defense, his decision-making, all of those things. The right players have to be on the floor with Ben Simmons if he won't shoot the ball. And whether we like it or not, and whether we want to accept it or not, Ben Simmons is a superstar, whether he shoots the ball or not. We want him to shoot the ball, whatever. Ben Simmons is going to do whatever the hell he wants to do, probably his entire NBA career. NBA players run the league. He's on a max rookie extension. He's going to be on a max contract his whole career. If Philly doesn't want him, other teams will pay that money for him. He has that much value in all of these other areas besides shooting the ball that he's pretty much, if he doesn't want to shoot the ball his whole career, he's going to get away with it. That's just the way it is. You can't find a 6'11" dude with the speed and defensive ability and passing ability and ball handling ability and finishing at the rim ability. You can't find that ever. He's always going to get away with not shooting the ball if he doesn't want to. That's just something we're going to have to accept. It's going to be the coach's job to get the most out of him based on how he wants to play. We just have to accept it. Let's just listen to Doc Rivers' interview, and I'll give you my thoughts on the things that he says.
Ben and Joel obviously are already all-stars, already fantastic players, but they each have some flaws that I guess have kept them from reaching true greatness, season-long greatness. How do you try and unlock it with them? How do you try and unlock the keys, the issues they both have, whether it's shooting, whether it's conditioning? Have you talked to them? What do you hope to do? And are there other instances where you've been able to reach superstars and kind of fix their flaws, so to speak?
Yeah, listen, there's clearly instances where I've reached superstars, and there's probably some where I haven't. That's just part of coaching for 20 years. You have an opportunity with a lot of people. I think it helps having experience with a lot of different personalities. But Ben Singular and Joel Singular are unbelievable basketball players, and they've proven that. And what they have to do is win. Like, that's why we're all here, right? And so it's amazing how they haven't won together. And I said, well, the yet should be the word that we use more. They haven't won yet.
It should.
They're young. They have time, and they have time to work. And I love what they both bring. I love that the biggest thing, seeing them in the gym, is their IQs. They are both brilliantly smart basketball players. And so that really will help in our growth process as trying to win together. They can do it. They will do it. The yet is what we have to take away.
Right. And everybody remember that 2017 roster and the offensive rating. They can win together. You can't put Al Horford on the floor. You can't start Dwight Howard at power forward. I mean, it's not rocket science. You need the right spacing. You need enough shooting around them. These two already play in the paint. You can't add 3 or 4 other players in the paint. Here I am. Brett Brown's gone, and I'm still yelling about Brett Brown. He's gone. He's out of my life. He's supposed to be out of my life, and here I am still thinking about him and yelling about him. I think Brett Brown has scarred me for life. I think what I watched all of last season has scarred me for life, and I'm going to need some time to get over it, all right? So just bear with me.
And that, I can't tell you when that's going to be, but it's going to happen. They're terrific. So conditioning, we have to get in shape. Listen, every player that says they want to win a championship, then there's required things you have to do. It's just required to win. And one of them is conditioning. And so we're going to get everybody in the best shape possible. Obviously with COVID.
This is what I love about Doc Rivers and how bad the situation was before him, because he knows why he's here. He knows how bad that coaching was. He's not going to come right out and say it, but he kind of has to sometimes when he answers these questions. And he's basically saying, these guys aren't in shape. They've never been in. How did Brett Brown and these guys allow Joel Embiid to come in every season more out of shape? How? Finally, we have somebody that's going to go in the gym and be like, hey, guys, first things first, get your ass on the line and run to the other line and run back and do that about 5,000 times until you pass out, all right? That's number one.
It makes it double tough.
Pampered.
I don't care about Ben shooting as much as so many other people seem to care
there
about.
There it is.
I care that he's a great player, and I'm going to let him play. I'm going to give him the keys and let him be free and play. If he takes no shots, I'm fine. If he takes 10 threes, I'm fine. If he gets to the line 15 times, I'm fine. Ben is brilliant enough for me to allow to play and not get in his way and try to cloud his head up with a bunch of crap. It's about winning.
I think Doc Rivers understands something on a different level here, that it's a fine line between telling a player what he should be doing and what he has to do and being in his head so much that he's overthinking every play and not just playing his game, right? I've played the game my whole life. I'm sure a lot of you have played the game your whole life. I was always best when I had players on my team who pushed me to play my game and who weren't always staring at me like, what are you doing? Don't shoot that shot. Don't shoot this shot. Slow it down. Push it faster. Let's do this. Let's do that coach on the floor that everybody has in a pickup game that nobody wants to play with because we just came here to have fun. You're always better when you're relaxed and just playing your game and letting it come to you, right? I think Doc really, really understands that we shouldn't be harping on Ben Simmons every day because he's going to overthink things and he's not going to be playing his game. I do wonder how much Doc Rivers has seen Ben Simmons play point guard in the half court and how far off the defense plays, but we'll get into that in a second. But I think he does really understand that this is a young, very talented player who's still very impressionable, and we shouldn't be filling his head with all kinds of things. We should just be letting him play his game, putting the right players around him to succeed.
And that's what I want Ben to focus on, how to make each other better and win.
Brett Brown's offense was kind of unique in the fact that there was very little pick and roll, not a lot of ISO. I think they were like bottom 2 pick and roll ISO team in the last couple of years. Yeah, Ben and Joel have really only played in one offensive system their entire NBA career. Motion offense. I mean, do you think there's
it was a bad one
for them to learn some different concepts or come out of that style and play something a little bit different?
Yeah, it will be, and that's again too bad that we're doing it now, obviously with the short time, and so we're going to be very careful in what we do so we don't overthink this. And I don't want them out on the floor thinking right now. We have some time together, but I guarantee you we'll run more pick and rolls, and I guarantee you'll see more pick and rolls with Ben and Joel.
I'm pretty sure I watched this already, but the second time watching it through, I'm pretty sure he just laughed thinking about Brett Brown's offense. I think he just laughed thinking about Brett Brown's offense. He said, I guarantee you we're going to run more pick and rolls. Brett Brown's offense made no sense.
In him, so but I like a lot of the stuff they ran in the past too. They had some pretty good movement stuff. And so we want to make sure that because of this shortened preseason, shortened training camp, and quick first game, that we don't try to do too much. We want to make them as comfortable as possible.
I mean, just as a quick follow-up, do you think with Tobias then you can do a lot of the stuff you did with him in Los Angeles with this roster here?
Yeah, I think almost easier in some stretches. And Tobias and I have obviously talked a ton since me taking the job. First thing we got to get him back to being is a quick decision player. I told him, I saw him dribbling way too much, and Tobias is so darn skilled.
Yes! God, I went a whole season watching Tobias Harris ISO. I see him dribbling way too much. Doc just understands players and their abilities and their skills. Tobias, exactly, quick decision. Tobias needs to come around a screen, catch the ball, and bang, bang, make a decision. You're either shooting it, you're taking one dribble, you're not standing there, squaring up, eyeing up your man, trying to ISO. I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this.
Going downhill, left and right, and we need to get back to taking advantage of that.
Guys, we're going to have time for 4 more here.
Inject this in my veins.
Hey, Doc, that was exactly what I was going to ask you about with Tobias Harris. So I guess I'll ask about conversations you've had with Ben Simmons and kind of maybe a leadership role that he has to have as your point guard, if you're going to have him as your point guard on the floor and things like that.
Well, we've had a lot about that. The leadership thing I don't kind of worry about right now. I kind of let that manifest itself through his play, through his practice habits and his example. But because he's going to have the ball in his hands so much, he has to have an understanding every night of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to get. And he has to be able to communicate that to everybody on the floor. So he has to become a great studier of our offense, of the opponent's defense. He has to know every single position on the floor and understand where everybody should be. And he has to vocalize that. And so he will do that. Ben is a great decision maker. Is it Ben a point guard? Honestly, I don't care. I don't even know that yet, John.
Thank you. It's not about Ben being a point guard. It's just about putting the right players around him on the floor. And if you got to put a point guard out there who, listen, we saw it a little bit last season with Trey Burke. All right, the one game that Trey Burke got 20-plus minutes in was fantastic. The way that Ben works with a guard on the floor who can dribble and shoot is amazing. It opened up his game, took it to another level, and then Brett Brown said, no, this is working way too well. Get this guy out of here, and then he cut him eventually. You know how that goes, but you just got to have the right players on the floor. You can't, your only ball handler next to Ben Simmons can't be Josh Richardson. You know what I'm saying? I think Seth Curry is going to play a lot alongside Ben Simmons, and it's going to open up his game to an extreme level. It's just going to be fantastic, and I really think Doc Rivers just really understands players' skill sets and how much the other players on the floor's skill sets affect their games and can elevate them.
But I know one thing, if you can get them in space going downhill, the ball gets to the right place. And so we want to do that as much as we can.
When you look at this team right now, what's your identity? What do you want your identity to be?
Yeah, Keith, it's a great question. And I have my own thoughts that I will not share yet because I want to make sure we get in the gym. I call it the lab. You got to get in there first. And the identity has to be what they believe it is, not what I wanted it to be. I know that we should be a great defensive team. I know that, Keith. And so if we start with that, but you win with balance. Teams that have won the title have been in the top 10 or top 5 in either offense or defense and in the top 10 in either offense or defense. So you have to have great balance. And so that's what we're going to strive for. We want to be a great defensive team and a great offensive team. We want to be top 10 in both. And if we can do that, historically, that would say we're one of the elite teams.
I do want to say this. I believe, I don't think Doc Rivers has seen Ben Simmons in the half court as much as we all have. I believe once he sees it, and once he sees Ben at the top of the key, with the ball in his hands, and the defense playing 20 feet off in the paint, and everything's clogged up, he's not going to sit back like Brett Brown did and try it over and over and over and over again for 3/4 of a season before he makes a change and when he put Shake Milton on the floor with him. It's not going to take Doc that long. It's going to take Doc probably about 2 of those possessions. There's probably one game where it happens twice, and he's going to put another guard on the floor. Because it's not rocket science. You can see when something isn't working, right? But I also think with Seth Curry on the floor, it's not going to be the same as it was with 2 centers and Josh Richardson on the floor with Ben Simmons. But I do think that, he said he wants to run. Ben and Joel are going to run pick and rolls together. Well, I mean, you just can't run a pick and roll if the defense isn't going to go over the screen. You can set a screen all you want. If the defense is standing 5 feet behind the screen, there's no pick and roll. That's why people think Ben Simmons has to shoot the ball. That's why I think he's not a point guard in a half court. It's not possible if the defense isn't playing up to him. But Doc has also made Rajon Rondo, took him to the NBA Finals at 21 years old, and he didn't shoot the ball. So Doc definitely knows what systems to run and how to bring the players around the point guard who isn't a threat to shoot, right? I just think it's going to be a lot better than anybody expected because this guy just thinks on a different level. And I think once he sees that defense playing off, he's not going to let it happen for a whole season. He's going to make a change right away. I'm not saying, hey, Ben, you need to shoot, or hey, Ben, you're going to play the power forward. He's just going to put more guards on the floor with him. Ben can still handle the ball, but he's got to get rid of it in the half court when the defense is nowhere around and everything's clogged up. You can't have 3 centers on the floor. That's all. I think Doc's going to do the right thing.
so it's going to take an elite effort to get there.
Thanks for watching ESPN.
There was also a quote. There was a video was a lot longer. There's also a quote that Doc is going to let Shake Milton play a lot freer. I don't know exactly what that means. If Brett Brown didn't do it, we saw Shake Milton succeed, and then once he played like more elite defenders, he couldn't really do much and got shut down pretty easily. I don't know what Doc means by that. Again, I don't think he's seen Shake Milton play a whole lot. I don't think he's really seen Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid play a whole lot. So you got to take this for what it is. Once they get in the lab, as he says, he's going to make better. He's going to have a more clear idea of what he's doing. So we're just speaking right now on what he thinks he's going to do. If they go out there and he sees a whole bunch of stuff he doesn't like, none of this is really going to apply. He's going to change it up because he's a winning coach. He gets teams to the playoffs. He's won a championship. He knows how to make things work. And I just think, the whole Ben Simmons shooting thing, I don't think it's that big of a deal either. I just think if he won't shoot, you got to figure out how to use him. And he's going to use him a lot as a small ball five. Daryl Morey already said that. You surround this guy with shooters, and he's the main rebounder, getting the rebound and running the floor. That is hard to stop. Brett Brown ran him at the small ball five only a little bit, and it was insanely successful. So I think Joel Embiid comes off the floor. Ben moves to the five. You put another shooter on the floor. That's a whole different offense we're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So many different lineups you can go with. These two players are so uniquely talented that there's so many different lineups you can run. It should be hard for defenses to stop it. I'm just so excited. Give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments, man. And thank God the Sixers are here because the Eagles are so depressing. And I'm so glad to be moving on and talking about something that's exciting and positive. The Eagles can kiss my ass. I don't even care anymore. I'll just talk about the Sixers every day. Fuck the Eagles, seriously. Give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments, man. My name is DJ Eastwood. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like button if you like me. Hit the dislike button if you hate my guts. I really don't care. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.